break down what we've seen so far in this series. And I think the key word here is slow. Slow game again. At least we got to see a couple of team fights there. But what do you think is causing this, that they're still taking it quite slow?
Like, honestly, it's just their lives are on the line right now. Like, well, in my opinion, I feel like it's more so, or it's harder for Curse because they've already been in the LCS. They know how it feels. Not only that, but they've gone through so many changes just to get here. Like, they would, it's kind of like what happened with Coast yesterday. If they were to lose, they'd probably question, was it the right choice to replace Smash Me with Fusion? And here it's like, was it the right choice to replace Jackie, to move Voyboy mid, to get Quaz? Like, they came up with huge roster changes, and it's just, yeah.
There's elements of Ninjas in Pajamas in this series for me. NIP lost to KMT at the EU promotion by sitting back and not making plays. Now, I'm being a little overly harsh on Curse here because they do make plays. It just takes them 33 minutes to make them. And I think the tension is there for both teams, and I definitely feel like Cognitive, for 3 games in a row, they've been on the back burner. They've been on the back foot. They haven't made anything really happen at all.
Yeah, going off on that, my question is, with the team with so much speed, like Olaf with Ghost, Oriana with Dissonance, and Silver's Ultimate on the hunt, how are these games going so slowly?
Yeah, that's a good point. You talked about the stress coming in, and also because they made those changes to the team, will the team cut it? And one of those is, of course, Voyboy. And I do think that with Ziggs, he has found a pick that goes for him very, very well.
I'm wondering if it's... Okay, so first of all, he played well on Ziggs. But Ziggs has been doing very well this whole tournament long. Has featured 100% in the NA promo series out of 11 games. 4 times has been banned. 7 victories, 0 losses. And at that game, I think he had 300 CS at the 25-minute mark.
Yeah,
it was just, he really made an effect. And the Ziggs in particular was the champion they wanted in game 1. The rest of the composition was identical. Ziggs was taken away from them. And then you could see Voyboy panicked a little and went, poke, range poke, needly. And I think it was the bad choice in that situation. But this time around, definitely worked out for them.
Elaborating, baby, about picks and bans, both sides, something that Freak also touched on is Chris seems to be kind of a sore point here for Cognitive Gaming. Went Elise 2 times because his Riven got banned out, and he built Elise also very tanky now because he knew that he would have to scale when we had Renekton on the other side. Do we feel that he has found, or Curse has found, the limits of his champion pool, and that might be a big problem because Quaz is so good?
Well, to be honest, Chris has always been like that. Like, even last split when he wasn't, or yeah, when he was playing with Velocity, he would always default to that Riven. And when the moment we banned that, he would pick either Kennen or Elise. Those are his comfortable 3. And I feel like with the high pressure stakes that he's in right now, he feels he should be more of a comfortable pick where he just won't mess up as much.
The one thing I want to talk about there as well is the build which you mentioned, the fact that he went tanky. I was talking to Benny about it and saying, well, if you were going to play a tank in the top lane, why not put Olaf in the top lane, put Elise in the jungle? Olaf does a lot better with the tanky items. He's more of a menace. He's more of a threat than an Elise who's going to drop low and then repel in the air and not be a front line for you. So I feel like that composition from Cognitive could have been stronger if they'd swapped the positions. But, you know, like Benny's saying, comfort pick, maybe Chris is just a little nervous and defaults to his champs.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a good point. And he built so tanky, and he built a really late haunting, guys, where the Magic Pen didn't even work out anymore. Like, Quaz was able to get away with just building on Hydra again. But if he, or what am I saying, if Chris built double pen like Sorcerer's Boots and Haunting Guys early, he probably would have been able to snowball that lane with the first skill.
Hey guys, Curse has 2 games now, and I think that maybe they've gotten rolling. What do you guys think for this next game?
Rolling's maybe rolling's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, I think the confidence is with them. I think the bugs that we've seen from picks and bans, actually from both teams, has been resolved. I feel like that series there was a lot better in terms of the champion pool, and I think if Curse can keep their nerves locked down, even if they played slowly, they can eventually win. They do seem to have a tighter grasp on the matches now.
Yeah, like I agree. Where Curse seems to be more in their element or more their comfort zone when they're playing these slow-paced games, as opposed to Cognitive, who's already been hesitating. Like last game, probably Silver's ulted like 1 time in 23 minutes, and that was like I don't know if it's offense or defense, to be honest, but just they seem to be in this really like kind of the awkward state where they're lacking confidence.
Yeah. Well, we're about to see if it speeds up the